Good morning, everybody. I'm Hayilara Matelu Abomi, lecturer at the Department of Animal Production, Faculty of Agriculture. Good to have you around.
And you briefly introduce the skill you teach.
I basically take broiler production. We have different broiler production groups, and I'm taking B precisely, broiler production B. That is what I take for the GSS skill.
Thank you, Ma. And Ma, do you believe this skill is important to undergraduate students?
Yes, it's very, not just, it's very important to them because, like we all know where the world is drifting to, entrepreneurship is one major thing everybody is drifting towards now. Job opportunity, job creation, and it's a skill that can fetch for you, be a source of income to you, and it's so important because you don't have to rely on white collar, you have to lay your hand on something to earn more cash. So it's very important.
I agree with you, Ma.
Thank you.
Ma, what are the requirements needed to start broiler production as a beginner?
I would say starting broiler production is one of the easiest things any layperson could start. It requires little. You just need even as little as the backyard farming. You can get a space at your backyard, not necessarily having a proper ventilated poultry house. You can get a place at your backyard, start raising as little as 5, 10 birds, and they could give you something. Then with that 5, 10 birds, get the feeder, get a drinker, then make sure that biosecurity is being taken into consideration. Then you can start. You're very good to start with that. It's a skill that is very easy to start.
Thank you, Ma. If I may ask, what are the problems that beginners face when it comes to broiler production?
I will not put it as beginners. I will say problems that maybe students face as when you want to start. Most of the times you see students that will tell you they can't carry a bird, they can't carry a chicken, they can't get close to a chicken. And it sounds so funny because you like to eat it, of course. Then why would you be scared to go near a chicken? So I think they're always scared of getting close to them. But with time, you see that they see them as a pet. They get more friendlier to them, and they catch fun doing it more because they see it like a duty. They see it like a task they're supposed to fulfill. Most of the time, I tell my students, if you're eating and your birds are starving, how are you satisfactorily eating that food? So before you eat, be sure that your birds are eating. So with time, the major problem is they will tell you they can't get close to it, but then commitment is one major thing. They find it hard going to probably where their farm is situated, it's far from their place of residence. Then they see it like they have to go there every morning and evening to go and feed their birds. So they see it as a chore, they see it as a big task, and they don't get to commit to that timing. But with time, they've improved over the years, and we see they are rearing healthy birds over the years.
So, Ma, for beginners, how many chicks to start with? Or can you just start with like 50, 100, 20? And also, I'd like to know the current price for these chicks in the market, like an estimate if possible. Then, yes, there you can go into the equipment needed with chicks properly and make sure they grow healthy.
Um, Let me take it one after the other. I would like to say nothing is too small. Like I said, it's one skill that is so interesting to start, so easy to start. And I would like to say one thing about this skill is you can start no matter how little you have. Like I said earlier, if you're not financially stable rather, to get a poultry house, to create a standard poultry house, you can just look at your backyard and start something. You don't need to have big capital. As a student, you've been saving over the years and you have little cash on you. You can purchase like minimum of 10, as low as 5, but just to boost what you're doing. Minimum of 10 can be sufficient enough for you. And I'm sure with that 10, on the average, you can feed them like a 6 kg feed till market stage and you would make your good cool cash. One thing about doing it, if you're starting up with low capital at your backyard, it saves you a lot of cost. Even saves the transportation to wherever your poultry farm is. It's at your backyard. You can while away time at your living room, then go and check up on them at the backyard. So it's very easy to start, and Talking about the cost you spoke earlier, you can't say this is a specific cost. Major reason behind the economy, it's quite fluctuating rather. It depends on the season. Like we are now, we are in festive season, Christmas is approaching, we envisage that the cost of the day old chick would have increased by now because a lot of patronage are they're having a lot of patronage now. Most people want to raise birds for the festive period, so they are mostly raising the cost at this period. So for students, if you really want to start your practice now, you should it would incur you a little extra cost because it's festive season and the patronage for those actuaries are quite higher now. So I can't really say this is how much you're going to start. But one thing I can tell you, it is quite affordable to start. It is very, I don't want to use very as often as I use it, but it is very affordable to you to start. And it's something you will do and your profits would be reasonable enough to encourage you to increase your numbers of flock.
Thank you, Ma. You said it's quite affordable to start as a beginner or
Yep.
as a student. I'd like to go further into that. So, affordable in what sense? Like how much are we talking about? Affordable like
Everything is
10,000
for
naira,
pricing.
20,000 naira, 50,000 naira. So,
Okay. I've been trying as much as possible to avoid mentioning any cost because like I said earlier, it's not stable. It is fluctuating and it depends on what we have in the economy. But if you really want me to dwell into that, I would say with 50,000 naira, you can raise bets. 5, 10 bets, you can if you are within your limits, you are not incurring extra cost on yourself. Like I said, in your backyard, you get just a single feeder and a single drinker. It depends on the number. Then one major thing is your capital determines the number of bets you're getting. You are not calculating based on the cost of your day old chick. Remember you're feeding them to market stage. And this is we're talking about minimum of 6 weeks, a month and a half. So how much does it cost you to feed the bird, vaccinate them, carry out all management practices till that 6 weeks? If you have that 50K, you calculate it based on the number of birds you have and you feed them maturely to market stage. Then you get your profit. So with 50K, it only depends on the number of birds you plan to rear. Do not just rear beyond what you know you can afford and feed till market stage. But with 50,000, like you said, you can start something and you keep going on it.
what are the improvements to start broiler production?
For a startup person, for a lay person, it requires very little. You just remember you're just starting on a small scale. You just need, let's say, a drinker or two, a feeder or two, then your brooding device. If you can't get the advanced brooding device, you can augment. You can get, for an example, let's say the cohort. It's very easy, very affordable. A simple cohort can give you your brooding what you need for brooding. Then you try and get a thermometer. It's very cheap and not expensive. It's simple just to control your temperature at your brooding stage. So your simple thermometer, your brooding device, your drinker, your feeder, those are the basic things you need. Then your litter, let me not forget that because you don't expect to put your beds on the floor. Just like you would not want to sleep on the floor in your room, you want to put some beddings. And these are just sawdust, what we locally call sawdust. We call it litter. So you put the litter on the floor to a reasonable height, then they are good to go. Those are just the basic things for a lay person that wants to wear little birds. I said something and I would want to restate on that. I said if you have 50,000 you want to start with, you are not supposed to buy the number of day old chicks that 50,000 can get you. Don't get it confused because remember you're feeding it in market stage. You are going to vaccinate. Some things will come up you did not plan for. So you want to put those miscellaneous funds somewhere. So you are getting the number of chicks that you know this 50,000 can feed to market stage. It can get you a drinker, at least a drinker, at least a feeder, then a little thermometer, then a cohort, how much is cohort, then charcoal to boost the heat. That's also you bring it in between. It will only reduce the number of day old chicks you're getting, but it's not going to stop it from starting production. It's still in between, yeah.
Um, when starting broiler production, like day of chicken and how some students believe they can learn everything online without any form of practical. So, Ma, please kindly go deeper into that.
Okay. Every skill tends to have their own challenges, and broiler production is not an exception. Like I said earlier, we have challenges of students getting scared to get near a bed. And we just have to tell them it's what you see on a daily basis. It's not a big deal and it doesn't hurt. These are what you can see on your table and you'll be happy taking it. So why are you scared of it? It doesn't hurt. So it's with time. I think we are going to overcome it because when they know that there is nobody that has to feed these pets for them, they have to be there to feed them. They don't have an option than to get used to them because it costs them a lot if they don't feed these pets. Then another challenge is, are they committed? Most of these students are doing it based off they are compelled to. They give off compellation vibe, like they are compelled to do it. It's not what comes out from their hearts. If you see a committed student, before you even get to the farm, they're already there taking care of the birds. It's not just getting close to these birds. Are you cleaning their feeders and drinkers as you should? Are you checking up? Are you noticing any change in that environment? All of these things comes with commitment. Comes with you really want to do this, and comes with I'm interested in this thing. So their interest level over the years had increased. They are taking more time to relate well because they even understand now that it's a business opportunity for them. It's not just a skill. It's something that can be a side hustle for them when they graduate, even with white collar jobs. So they have picked more interest then. With time, they've been able to get close to the birds. They've picked interest in feeding them properly as they should. Changing these feeds and this water ad libitum too is one very important factor you should consider. So you sometimes even see them at the farm before they are supposed to be there. You would be surprised when you just get to the farm, you meet them there already. So and I think that comes up from the fact that they are believed now that it's something that can fetch them money. It's something they can immediately start with a little capital immediately after graduation. So they really want to learn it and do it the right way. So the major challenge is them getting close to these chickens. Then again, the ability to be consistently at the farm to take care of these birds. There is one thing about these birds is what you give, you get from them. If you decide to abandon them and not feed them, you see it in their weights. And you know these birds are being sold based on their weights. So if you have a very low weight, you tend to get little profits. So they understand that better now and they want to feed more. So they will get a very reasonable weight after 6 weeks of rearing and they want to sell better. Then how frequent do they change this feed? There are sometimes you see all these birds spill water on their litter. This is another factor that causes them, that impairs their health. So most of these students at the beginning, they want to just drop the water and leave, not even at strategic positions or positions that these waters will not spill. But over the years, they know it impairs the health of these birds and it costs them much at the long run. So now they want to do it better. They want to feed them well. They want to change it as often as they are supposed to. And we have recorded progress over the years.
So now I want to speak of personal experience. So a few years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, I tried going into broiler production myself.
Okay.
I got about 10 or 20 chicks daily, and they all died in a week. I think 2 survived. They all died in a week. I got the equipment they told me to get then. Okay. I think I got some drugs for them too, and still they died. And how do beginners prevent that from happening? And I also noticed the first day it was 4 or 5. Then I separated 4 or 5 from the rest. Then the second day, about 10 died again. So what are the causes and how do I prevent that from happening?
Okay, thank you so much. I'll first like to say this skill is a skill that even if you start rearing, the major poultry genius today, they will tell you, the well-known poultry genius around the world today will tell you their stories too. Nobody has it perfect. Nobody has it positively figured out from the first day. Everybody has stories to tell. And nobody will come out today and tell you, I'm a genius in this thing and I've not made mistakes over it. I've not incurred loss. Number one, I'm not telling you will not incur loss. No. If you're lucky, you might not. Fine. But loss is one thing you might incur in this business. Like he said, he lost over 50%, almost 100%. at the first week of rearing. Yes, it's possible. Then moving on from that stage, that's what they will tell students. If you have incurred that almost 100% loss, are you giving up? No, you shouldn't give up. More like you're rearing, you're invest. Every business have that disadvantage. You take some risks sometimes and it comes out negative. Then you don't give up. Like you said, a lot of things might have caused it. It's obviously an infection. Then he, as a layperson, did not notice what was wrong at the immediate stage. If he had noticed that, he would have quarantined some of those birds to a part of the poultry house, then leave the healthy ones. But being a layperson that he is, and I don't know, the animal scientist might have consulted, he lost out on everything. This can come up from different angles. There might be an infection. So one of them might have contacted an infection. Then it passes. These things, then again, it might be drug reaction. He said he gave some drugs. I don't know if you could tell me the names of the drugs you give.
I can't remember names in particular.
Okay, you can't remember the drug, but I can categorically tell you that drug reactions give us this kind of result again. What drug are you giving them? Are these birds accepting it? Are these birds reacting to it? But as a layperson, you don't know they are reacting to it. So he lost him. So a lot of things, I can't say this is basically what might be the cause, because I'm not there with your bird. But one major thing most layperson do is, where did you get your day-old birds? Where are the sources? Like that archery again, because where you are, the source of your day-old chick is very important too. Where have you gotten it? If you have gotten it from a bad source, you tend not to relate with anything, and your result is definitely going to be poor. Have they vaccinated these birds before bringing them out of the hatchery? Are you very sure that they are not lying that they have vaccinated it? Then if you are getting your birds from a very good source, what kind of feed are you giving your bird? Where are you even getting these feeds? Most of the times, one of the challenges we have with feed these days is what they wrote, or what those feed manufacturers are listed on the sack of those feeds is not actually what is the content of that feed. But if you are sure you are getting from a reputable place, then you are good to go. But as a layperson, you might have tried to just get your birds from any hatchery that are not reputable. You are not sure they have vaccinated those birds before bringing them out. Then the kind of feed you do, maybe just a roadside feed seller. You are not sure what you are reading from the package might not be what is inside of that feed. Then what was the cause of you giving those birds drug at the first instance? Are they actually reacting to those drugs? So it comes under a lot of things, and I can't, because I was not there, and I can't categorically say this is what is the cause of. Generally, these are the causes. These are what could have caused all of this. And I know moving forward, if you have not given up anyways, you can take note of all these things and you will have a better results.
My colleague here has said almost everything, and I don't know if our trainer here have something to add for us. So
I really don't have much to add to. I've said most of the things, but I'll just say broiler production is a skill that I would say almost everybody needs. With the way the economy is going, everybody needs to add something to whatever they are doing. And we know how the need for quality protein in this present economy is very important. And how do we get this quality protein if we have people into this business? I can categorically tell you a lot of people into poultry today do not learn it. They are just dabbling into it because they want to make the cash, but they are not doing it rightly. Why don't you want to acquire the knowledge and do it rightly to fetch you some cash? You start little and you keep